Media! Hello and welcome to GameGazm special E3 2017 Roundup Update video. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
It is a little bit,
You can totally tell that I rehearsed that title right before doing this.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. Okay, right. So, as you know, E3's been going on all weekend, and it's just got a mind-blowing number of stuff that's come out. Loads of games across all platforms. So we decided that we'd break it all down into a big list and basically just talk to you guys a bit about everything that happened at E3.
Yeah, because as far as gaming news goes, it's all going to be about the E3.
Yeah, it's all about the E3, baby. Yeah. So without further ado, what is the first item?
Well, we're going to start this week with the one viewer mail that we had. So,
viewer mail, yes, that's right.
Thanks for that. So this comes from Demon1983.
Hello.
Hello. He says, Dear GameGazm, I watched E3 on Xbox One, can't wait for the new Metro Exodus, Dragon Ball Z Fighter and Anthem. Also, the new backwards compatibility with the first Xbox games.
That is cool. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. That. And he asks us, what stood out for you at E3 and what do you think they missed out?
Right, well, because of that, there's a lot of stuff here, so we're just going to start going through it.
We're going to go for everything.
Yeah, we're going to go for everything. So take it away, Jay. What's going on?
Right, so we're going to do it in order as well, I
in
think.
order.
That kind of makes sense too.
Prepared.
So, yes. Yeah, a little bit. So the first session to go on was EA.
Yes.
And the main thing that they announced was obviously Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah, which is looking quite spectacular.
It is, yeah. Although they still haven't really shown anything from the single-player campaign. Yeah. Everything they showed at the EA conference was all multiplayer again. Although there was that really awkward time when the actress, I forgot her name now, that plays the character in the game, kind of walked out on stage and like in character and stared down the audience, and it was just like, it was really awkward, like it was
just a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was really a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah. But what they have said though, which does sound good, is that all the multiplayer expansions that come out for it will be free this time round.
That's cool.
So everyone can keep up to date and keep playing it, really.
Just quickly on that actress of the main character, I thought in the trailer that I saw, she looked like a lot like the girl from Walking Dead that plays Maggie. A little bit. Watch the trailer again. let me know, because I swear to God, it's not her, but it looks like her. Moving on.
Okay. So yeah, that's coming out November 17th anyway, so that's a title to look out for this year. They also announced the new Need for Speed game, so Need for Speed Payback. But the trailer they showed, it kind of, you watch it and it looks like a Fast and the Furious game.
Yeah.
It looks really weird. I mean, I don't know if they're going to continue with the normal races or whatever, but it looks like this one's very story-driven, very mission-based. I mean, it looked pretty cool.
It's kind of, is that harkening back to, Need for Speed 2 when you're in the city and you got kind of the, like, I know that's going back a long way.
Yeah, a long time ago.
A long way. There's probably others that are more similar, but that's the one I can remember.
Yeah.
It's kind of going back to that story kind of thing.
Yeah. But what's interesting about this one is you control 3 different characters and it's kind of as their story progresses. So it just looks
no other game on the planet has ever done that before.
Nope. But it looks cool anyway, and it's out November 10th.
Nice.
So again, another one coming out this year. And then the last big release from EA was Anthem.
Oh yeah, now this Anthem.
So this is EA and BioWare's answer to Destiny, and where all of the resources from Mass Effect went, apparently.
I mean, literally, you take one look at Anthem, and you look at Mass Effect Andromeda, and you're like, that's where all the effort went.
Yep. We see now what you did there.
I can see what you did there, yeah.
But it looks, I mean, as far as the gameplay goes, it looks really cool. So
it does. We don't know too much yet.
No, but it looks like it's the exact flip of Destiny. When you're in the overworld hub area, or the wall, I think they call it, it's all first person.
And then when you're out in
the open, it's third person. So it's kind of like a weird switch.
Yeah, I quite like that.
Fully customizable javelin suits, they're called, and I think it could be really cool.
Yeah, it looks epic. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I mean, you're not like Destiny, not locked to one particular class, and you can constantly modify your suit to have different weapons, so I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. As we're going through this, by the way, don't forget to comment down below and tell us everything that you think about these games as we read them out, because we love reading your comments and hearing all your feedback. So drop a comment down below.
Keep doing that. As far as the release date from that, it's just scheduled fall 2018, so the end of next year.
That's going to be a long wait for that one.
So it's a pretty long wait. Yep. But that was EA. So moving on to Microsoft, and you can't talk about the Microsoft one without mentioning 4K.
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 4K gaming.
This video is brought to you with... No, it's not really.
It's not.
But, no.
It's nowhere near.
So they finally announced Project Scorpio, and it's called the Xbox One X.
And that is because the short version of that is...
Xbox. I think that's pretty cool.
It's basically, the marketing has basically done a full circle. One might say 360 degrees.
They should use that.
They should use that.
They should use that.
Yeah.
There you go, Microsoft.
Well, really, it should be the 720 now.
Oh, and it should be even further than that because
be further than that
because they did a whole 360 with the Xbox One originally.
Yeah.
And what it was supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah. Anyway, it's called the Xbox now.
Yeah, the Xbox One X. So. How many people are going to get confused with that? So everyone on their Christmas list, like asking their parents for the Xbox One X, are they going to get the Xbox One S?
I don't know.
Let me know in the comments which one you think I said first.
Yeah, yes, of course. Let's get the nitty gritty out of the way first. It's $500.
Yeah,
$499.
So it's going to be expensive.
$449 in the UK.
Yeah, but the Xbox One S, the S, not the X. It's going to get confusing. Has been the price has been lowered to $249.
See, now to be honest, if you haven't got a 4K TV, I'd say that's a better purchase anyway because it's got the 4K Blu-ray player in it.
Yeah, and it's got HDR support.
Yeah, so you can kind of have all of that. It just won't play the 4K games, and I think the Xbox One X does. It upscales games in general anyway, doesn't it? It has sub sampling?
Super sampling. So yeah, if you have a normal 1080p TV, the Xbox One X will still run them games better on it. So I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I've been watching quite a few of the interviews with Phil Spencer as well after like the conference, and I do kind of get where they're going with it.
I get where they're going with it, but I don't think it's worth £499.
It is a bit pricey when you.
I mean, let's face it, the original Xbox when it came out was $499.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's what we're looking at here. The original Xbox, the one that sat on my shelf in the back, $499.
The slab.
Yeah. So, is the Xbox One X the console we all should have got back then? That's what I'm thinking, because all the technology, well, maybe not the specific technology that's in the Xbox One X, but the power to produce what it does did exist back then.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't feasible to put it in a console.
Perhaps.
The other thing is, as well, and in the interview, Phil Spencer, the one I watched with Phil Spencer, was asked the same question. It was like, why are we now getting this now? Is it because of... Well, he's only been in this role for 3 years, he said, so it's just like, from when he joined... It's like a line in the sand, and they're going a different way now. Like with the whole drop in Kinect, like was Kinect ever mentioned? No. Apparently, the same adapter for the Xbox One S works with the X, but they're not pushing Kinect on anyone.
They didn't mention it, and even Major Nelson on the sofa only spoke about Kinect when he was directly asked by the presenter.
Yeah.
So they weren't even going to mention that. They weren't even going to mention it.
No, but another thing Phil said is he's listened to what his consumer base have told him, and they've told him they don't want Kinect, so that's why they're not really pushing it anymore.
And we don't.
Nope.
Thank you, Phil.
He's listening to us.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's the Xbox One X. They also announced Battlegrounds, so PlayerUnknown. It's a
now this looks
game
really cool. It's like a PC game, basically 100 people, you've got to be the last man standing, and as you play, the map shrinks in increments until it gets to a very small playing area. It's kind of like Battle Royale, isn't it?
Yeah, so if you've watched Battle Royale, it's like that. You just get dropped in,
find weapons, find armour, and kill everyone.
I like the way that you can form factions, like you can form little teams of people to help you, but eventually you're going to turn on
each other. Yeah.
So I think it could be a really cool, exciting game. I mean, I know a lot of people already. I think 3 million people are playing it on PC at the moment. And it's coming to Xbox One, so that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very popular.
Sticking with the theme of 4K, Minecraft is getting the 4K update as well.
Moving on.
Yeah, it looks even better. Sea of Thieves as well.
Yeah,
that rare title
looks interesting. Although I don't know, I'm kind of.
It looks like it could be. It looks like Destiny. It looks like if you get a group of mates together, it could be fun for a little bit.
It doesn't look like a Rare game. I think that's my problem with it. As in, like Rare are always good at like making these, very story, fun-loving, character-driven, stories. But this one, and especially the E3 footage that we saw, was very much. It was narrator-led. Yeah. Like as in. There's no story in it. You make up your own stories, basically.
Yeah,
so it's kind of
that's the idea of it.
Yeah, and that to me is not a Rare game. So I'm kind of dismayed by the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it might be fun, but it won't. I was expecting a rare game, you know?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it didn't happen. So
yeah, it's going to be fun for a little bit, but I think it will kind of fall flat unless they do something really incredible with it.
Yeah.
But that's coming out early 2018. Metro Exodus as well got announced. No release date on that other than next year, but
it's looking pretty swish.
Yeah, open world it looks like as well. I mean, they kind of haven't really said if it is or isn't.
Everything's kind of going open world though, isn't it? Like everything, like even a couple of the other things mentioned later that weren't previously open world are now open world, and it's like, okay,
sandbox sort of thing. But that's what everyone seems to want nowadays.
Yeah,
so.
not me particularly. No. I hate them, but well, hate is a strong word. No, I like open worlds when there's lots of stuff to do. What I don't like is having to walk or drive for miles just to get somewhere to an objective or whatever. But anyway, that's conversation for a different day.
But Metro, Forza Motorsport 7.
Oh, that looks stunning.
We all knew that was coming, but
it looks amazing.
It looks great, running at native 4K at 60 frames per second.
Very nice.
Yeah,
very impressive.
So that's out October 3rd, but you got to wait a full month to get it on the Xbox One X. So the Xbox One X is out November 7th.
But that's a good thing, actually. Just going back to the Xbox One X, and something that maybe not everyone knows, but when you buy an Xbox game, there's not going to be specific Xbox One X games.
No.
You just buy the one game, and you can play it in your Xbox One, and then if you decide to upgrade to your Xbox One X, you put the same disc in there, and it'll upgrade it, and it'll be the Xbox One X version of that.
Yeah, so which is pretty cool. So, and the Xbox One X also works with the backwards compatibility of the 360 games, and also the original Xbox games will work as well. So
it's got it all, baby.
Yeah, it's still one console.
Yep.
So that's for Forza Motorsport. Assassin's Creed Origins was announced as well. Did you know? Did not see that one coming.
No. Thanks, Target.
Oh, we about that in the past couple of updates anyway, and everyone knows everything, so there's nothing new to say about that, other than that the combat looks a bit more like Dark Souls. Without the difficulty, it looks better, and it's more of an RPG.
Yep.
The thing that's really annoying me is that I quite like Assassin's Creed. Now, I know you don't, but I really like it, and I like getting the collector's editions for it. And
yes, I heard about this.
Yeah, and the only big collector's edition that I can see with a statue and everything, which is what I obviously like, is like $800, £600 odd.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
I mean, is it like super limited? Is that the only reason why it's expensive?
There's 999 of them made.
That's not exclusive.
It's not exclusive enough to warrant that price tag.
No.
When you think about it.
No.
So I hope they announce a slightly smaller one for about £80 as they usually are. I'll pay that for a nice statue in a game. Yeah. But I'm not going to.
I hope they're not trying to set a trend with that.
Hopefully not.
You know, like big collector's editions becoming stupid prices. That would not go down well.
Nope.
With me.
No. But it'd be interesting to see how many of them 999 people actually buy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, probably quite a lot.
Including him.
Well, I'm not going to spend $800 on it, but a little bit less I might. But yeah, other than the Xbox One backwards compatibility, that was really it from Microsoft. They had a lot of indie titles in there as well, so Ori and the Blind Forest 2 and that Town of Light, or it was something along them lines. I don't think
State of Decay 2.
State of Decay 2 as well, yeah.
Was there anything else?
No, but there was 42 games in total, so there was quite a lot that they shown.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, so it's looking good.
Oh, there's that pixel art game that I keep forgetting the name of.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to remember. It's not Town of Light, but it's something of Light.
Yeah. It's
the name escapes me, but it did look pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
But the weird thing is, it runs an Xbox One X in 4K. It's a pixel game.
It's pixel art.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I mean, you can have crisper visuals, but the visual stylization of the game is pixels.
So it's not really gonna. Oh well. Well, it's important to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's important to them.
Yeah. There's one last thing to mention about the backwards compatibility of the original Xbox games.
Yeah.
It works like the 360. So if you've got the original discs, you pop the disc.
Put it,
yeah.
Put it in.
Yeah, you put the disc in and it downloads it.
But you've got to wait.
Wait until it becomes available.
Right.
At the moment, they're trying to get games, but because they need the relevant rights to do that, a lot of the companies that made them games back then don't exist anymore. So they're really struggling to get the rights for the games to put them on. So hopefully we'll see, some of your favourites.
Some of the bigger ones, like obviously all the Halos and stuff.
All the Halos, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, the standard ones.
Yeah. And that was it from Microsoft. So again, if you guys got anything to add,
Yeah, keep commenting down below. We'd love to hear all about it.
Yeah, moving on to them Bethesda.
Yeah. No, this was a good one. I enjoyed this one.
It was a weird one, the way it was all laid out with the theme park land and everything.
Yeah.
But so they came straight out with 2 VR titles. So Doom VFR and Fallout 4 VR.
I'll leave it up to your imaginations what VFR stands for. But now starting with Doom, I mean, that sounds cool.
And it looked cool.
But I get motion sickness real bad with the PSVR, so that's out for me.
It looked like a vomit fest. I think that game is way too quick.
It is really fast. However, in the video, you see the Doom guy kind of not really doing a lot of the circle strafing and jumping and stuff that you'd expect to see in the Doom game. He was kind of stationary a lot of the time and just shooting in like an arc. So I'm wondering, is the game tailored so you don't have to spin around a lot? And
I would have thought
maybe to limit that.
If they put the full movement of, say, the Doom game that came out a couple of years ago,
you'd
yeah,
have a lot of sick people on your hands.
Oh yeah, but Fallout 4 looks pretty good, and to have the whole game playable in VR.
Now, see,
pretty cool.
I think that would be better because obviously Fallout 4, it is an action game, but it can be a lot slower paced.
Oh yeah,
you know. But it'd be interesting to see how the VAT system works in that, because obviously it zooms in on the other character's body parts. How does that work in the headset? Do you think that would come up as a screen in front of you, maybe, and you pick the body part?
Maybe.
And then, how would you get the cool camera afterwards?
Yeah.
Like, that's all part of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
well, they didn't show it, so maybe they've taken that functionality out for the VR one, because it would be weird to have your view all of a sudden change.
Just change, and you'd be like,
Yeah, no, okay. So yeah, they came straight out with the 2 VR games. They've also announced Skyrim on the Switch, so obviously we knew that was coming.
We knew that.
But now we know it's coming fall this year, so it's coming out by the end of this year.
Nice.
And you can use the Joy-Con controllers.
Yeah, for the shield and
and
things.
Amiibos work for it as well, so if you've got the Zelda Amiibos,
you can
get the Master Sword and the shield and everything in the game.
And my sources say it doesn't break.
Well, hey, that's what I like to hear. But we'll see. We'll see. There's still time for that functionality to be added. Dishonored is getting a standalone DLC, Death of the Outsider. That's September 15th. If it's anything like the original Dishonored, the standalone DLCs that came out after it were actually a lot better than the main game.
Right, well,
This might be one to look
one
out
to
for.
watch. One to watch.
The Evil Within 2 as well.
Yes.
So this was a surprise one, but kind of rumoured before. But the trailer looks terrifying.
It does look a bit creepy. Very head fucky.
Yeah. And there's been a couple more gameplay trailers after as well, which they just look. It looks.
I didn't actually catch whether Shinji Mikami's on board with this or not.
No, I haven't seen anything.
I mean,
yet.
he said the last one was his last one.
Yeah.
So maybe not, but this one looks interesting.
We've heard that one before. Anyway. Yeah, it looks good. Hopefully, it's better than the first one. Still haven't finished that one yet.
Well, I think with the first one, the problem was they kind of focused too much on action and difficulty rather than horror and fear.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they've gone with the balance a little bit better on this one, perhaps.
Yeah.
So.
Only time will tell, but it's out October 13th, so we haven't got long to...
not long to wait at all.
And it's out Friday the 13th as well, which was a nice little touch. So yeah, you got that one to look out for. Wolfenstein 2 as well, now that was a good surprise.
That snuck up. I didn't. And what a cracking trailer they had for that as well. It was like all filmed like old school style, wasn't it?
It was like telling a story through history if the Nazis won the Second World War again. So, and it's set in 1960s. It features BJ Blazkowicz again.
Blazkowicz,
he's obviously having kids this time. I think the trailer showed quite a lot of the story and quite a lot of the game.
It was long. Yeah. It was long. You've probably seen it, but if you haven't, go watch it. It's really cool.
Yeah. But the gameplay looks like you'd expect from Wolfenstein. It looks awesome, and that is out October 27th.
Boom.
So
October's going to be an expensive
month. It's going to be very expensive. And then the last thing they announced was the Creation Club. So like
Creation Club.
Yeah. Bethesda developers and other developers like modders.
To create mods.
Yeah, for their games, which you pay with using credits, which I'm assuming still you have to use real money to get them.
Yeah. So somewhere along the line.
So it kind of sounds like another crack at the paid mods, which they tried a while ago and it failed. But this way seems a little bit more
because they made it like credits.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Good work.
So that was Bethesda anyway. Moving on to Ubisoft. Ubisoft, they had a conference as well, and it started quite quite weirdly again, very awkward with the Mario and Rabbids and
yeah,
and Miyamoto running on stage with that gun and then them posing with it. It was all a very bit weird.
It was like Miyamoto came out with that gun, and the guy on stage that was doing his introduction had not been told any of this.
It was all
it was a bit weird.
Is this happening?
A little bit weird.
But yeah, so that game, the Mario and Rabbids, I mean, it was leaked before. It's coming out on Switch August 29th, and I don't know what to make of it, because it looks like XCOM, basically.
Turn-based game.
Yeah, turn-based.
With Mario and Rabbids
combat.
crossover thing.
And some guy in the crowd cried about it, so it must be good.
He weeped.
Yeah, he did weep a little bit. So then they announced The Crew 2. Which is kind of like a game that I don't think anyone asked for, but actually looks pretty good.
It looks a lot better than the first one. I mean, the first one, well, that was a big pile of awfulness.
Yes. This one looks super detailed. The city looks great, and you could cars,
boats,
bikes,
planes.
planes, helicopters, basically whatever moves you can control.
Yeah, so that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Might actually be worth giving a go.
Yeah, it might be worth. There's a beta for it as well. Sign up for the beta.
Sign up for that.
And then they went to Transference. When Frodo Baggins, Elijah Wood introduced it, and
this is the game
the
that
weird
had
VR game,
that had no video footage in it whatsoever of what the game actually is.
No,
right, okay.
So it's some psychological thing.
Elijah Wood, you wear a headset, stuff happens. The trailer didn't make any sense whatsoever. Nope. If you've got any more information on that, drop a comment down below, because no idea.
Nope. And it's coming out 2018.
I'm pretty sure everyone at E3 that watched that trailer is also sat there going, huh.
The Lord of the Rings sequel.
Yeah, could be.
And then they announced Skull and Bones. So it was actually quite amusing. The Skull and Bones and all the details leaked during the conference. But then they came out and actually officially announced it, so we all know about it now. But it's essentially the fighting from Assassin's Creed 4 without all of the gumph with the assassins and everything else.
Yeah, it's the boat bit.
Yeah, the ship battling bit.
The ship battling bit. Yeah. They made a game out of the ship battling bit.
Yeah. So the only thing they showed was the PvP, when you got to get loose. But they haven't announced if there's any more game modes, if there's an offline mode. Yeah, and then right at the end of the trailer, they showed the Kraken. Yeah. Which was pretty epic. So
pretty epic. So you can actually get attacked by other things in the ocean, which is cool.
Yeah. So that's one to watch maybe, but again,
perhaps
sign up for the beta. That's coming out fall next year.
Don't buy it on day one because it won't work.
Nope. And then there was a really interesting one. Now, Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Yes.
Now this one
excited
really
me. I got wet.
Yeah.
I got excited.
Okay. So this one, so it's a space shooter essentially in like a living world, and you're going around space and through planets, and it looks basically how No Man's Sky should have been.
Yeah.
But the unique twist on it is that the bits for your ship you buy toys, and then connect them to your controller and change weapons on them and effects in the game. So it's basically it's a more grown-up version of Skylanders.
Yeah, but you can actually get all the content digitally as well.
Yes.
So you don't have to buy the toys.
No.
But I'm going to buy the toys.
Yeah, what's the point? Yeah, I want the toys.
Of course, yeah. You want like a shelf full of awesome ships.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that one's one to watch. It's slated for next year, so there's still, they haven't really locked down the time.
That one's coming out on Switch and PS4,
Switch, PS4 and Xbox One. So,
and Xbox,
yeah.
Nice.
So that's one to get on the Switch, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Then they talked about Far Cry 5. It's got a release date now, February 27th. I think we've talked about Far Cry 5 and everyone kind of knows about it enough. Yep. And then right at the end, they surprised everyone with Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
Yeah, which pretty much stole the show.
Well, it stole the show, yes, because it was an damn epic trailer.
Yeah, it was good.
But it was CG, there was no mention of any kind of gameplay, and what the presenter said at the end was that we want to work with you and grow the game.
Yeah.
So you are not going to see this anytime soon.
Ooh, maybe the next 2 or 3 years.
Perhaps. Yeah, Dave, maybe.
We've waited 14, I suppose.
We can wait a little bit longer, yeah. But, that trailer's amazing, but don't get your hopes up, as in...
Nope.
Well, the other thing that kind of... pissed on my parade a little bit was the fact that again he mentioned it as an open world experience, an open online experience specifically. So I'm like, okay, well, really, that's not what I'd want from Beyond Good and Evil. No. So as excited I am for Beyond Good and Evil 2, I was also met with a bit of bitter resentment at the end. I was like, don't fuck it up.
From what I've seen and what he said, I kind of thinking it's going to be along the line of Mass Effect. It's where you're a team of people travelling from planet to planet looking for clues for something.
This is a poor analogy right there.
It is a very poor analogy, but it's Ubisoft and not BioWare, so we might actually see proper faces.
Yeah.
And that was really it.
No, we won't. Ubisoft didn't even manage to finish Faces in Unity, did they? Oh. Remember that?
Whoops. Well, we'll see. So maybe you'll see faces, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Either way, there'll be gameplay, maybe.
Moving on.
So yeah, that was the main things from Ubisoft. Has another couple of little things. Mainly the cringy Just Dance 2018 reveal. There's always one, isn't there?
Oh, I literally cringed so hard, I think I almost turned inside out on my sofa. It was
yeah, that's exactly what gamers wanted to see.
Yeah. I mean, literally, they could have just come out and right at the end of their press conference and just gone, oh, and by the way, Just Dance 2018's out now.
Yeah.
That's all it needed.
Yeah.
Because no one cares
I don't
much
even know
about
who
it.
that singer was. She might be someone famous, maybe.
She had to say her name.
She had to say her name.
So, she was a recording artist.
Recording artist, I know what that means.
Probably means not famous yet.
Okay.
Perhaps.
I just wonder at the end she went, it's coming out on all consoles, and then walked off. It's like, because
bye-bye.
you really know what a console is. But anyway, we digress.
Yes.
So moving on to then Sony, which I thought had a pretty good conference, but then again at the same time it was a little bit disappointing, I think.
Yeah.
But they started off quite
strong.
with Uncharted Lost Legacy, so that's
DLC,
the standalone DLC for Far Cry 4 coming out August 22nd. Then they went into Horizon Zero Dawn expansion, The Frozen Wilds. Which...
Did you just say Far Cry 4? Did you mean Uncharted 4?
Uncharted 4. There's way too many games on this.
There's a big list.
There's a lot of info here, guys. There's a lot of info, guys. So, and then they went on to Horizon Zero Dawn, so the
DLC for that,
the Frozen Wilds.
Lots of DLC reveals.
Lots of DLC, but any excuse to get back into Horizon's world, and I am there.
I'm just a bit disappointed that DLC reveals are E3 worthy now.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. We'll come back to that
anyway.
one. Yeah.
Moving on.
Then they showed quite a lot of gameplay from Days Gone.
That looks good. Good zombie game.
Yeah, it looks pretty interesting how you can manipulate the surroundings to then get the horde to, or the swarm as they're called in this one, to take out that camp. Was pretty cool. And then we're on to Monster Hunter World. Yeah,
that one looks really good.
Yeah, so it's made the jump to PS4 and Xbox One, and the creature design on it looked incredible.
Yeah.
Like that random T-Rex thing he was fighting just kept changing.
Yeah,
the more he was getting pissed off.
It looked like an openly dynamic boss battle.
Yeah.
Like where it's not a set arena and you've got to, move around using different parts of the environment to help you take this thing down.
Yeah, it's like he was setting up traps and setting up a route to then lead him to make it easier to fight him. So that was pretty cool, and it's online again, so it's drop in, drop out co-op or play online. So that's pretty cool. And then another surprise one is Shadow of the Colossus remake.
Yep, that shocked everyone, even me.
Yep.
I didn't see that one coming, and it looks blissfully awesome.
Yep, it does. So it's the same game that we saw remastered on the PS3. It's just they're calling it a remaster again, but it looks like a remake. It looks like they've done a lot of work on it.
It's a big remaster.
Oh yes,
it's a very big remaster.
Yeah, but there's no release date on that one yet, but it's definitely coming. Then we saw some more of God of War.
Yep.
Which looks really cool.
It does. Yep. It does look very good. I actually the new camera angle's kind of growing on me.
Yeah, I think it really suits.
When I first saw it, I was like, oh, is that going to work for God of War? But after seeing this new gameplay footage, I was like, oh yes, that definitely works for God of War.
The combat's still as epic and as brutal as you'd expect.
Yeah.
And the world serpent, serpent, try saying that one.
That thing.
That was pretty epic.
That was epic.
Yeah.
I'm glad it said, look, it's going to help us. The little kid's like, he wants to help us. Oh, good, because I've only got an axe.
Which you just spat back out. So, that one looked good. Then they showed some of Detroit Become Human, Quantum Dreams.
Yeah, Quantum Dreams new one. Yeah, Quantic? It's Quantic, isn't it?
Quantic Dreams.
Yeah, and obviously that looks good. Again, there's not a release date on that, is there?
No, nothing yet. But it's going to be as you'd expect. There's so many different story arcs you can take depending on the choices you make.
Yep, looks very good.
Yep. Then they showed us quite a lot of gameplay of Spider-Man.
They did, an epic amount of gameplay from Spider-Man,
and it looked incredible.
It did. I mean, some people, I've seen some comments, and people are saying like, it's focusing too much on QuickTime events and too many scripted events and stuff like that. But then again, I personally quite like that. I mean, this is one section of the game.
Oh yeah.
And there's probably going to be a lot of parts where like Uncharted, it integrates proper gameplay, shall we say, with then these linear set pieces that kind of pop in. And what they showed us was kind of a little bit of both, didn't they? They showed us a bit of sneaking around and doing the moves to trap enemies and whatever, and then it went into this linear kind of section where you had a certain way to do things. But I thought it looked really good.
I think it worked. So we said when we was watching it, and a few other people have said since, that you kind of forget you were watching a game. It felt like a Spider-Man movie.
I totally
it
forgot.
Looks incredible. And I mean, the gameplay shows only one way you could probably tackle that situation, like fighting and moving through the building and taking out all them blokes. There's probably a lot of different ways that you can do it. But yeah, that game's coming out early next year, so it does look really good. I'm looking forward to that one.
Absolutely.
And then they just showed this slew of PSVR games as well, and
yeah, they had a lot.
Yeah, so some of them. So obviously they haven't abandoned the PSVR. I didn't really expect them to say anything about it. To be fair,
I did, because they're really pushing that. So I kind of, since its launch, it's kind of had like people have had a chance to go and buy one and try it out for themselves and try the small game library that's there. I mean, there's quite a lot there. I mean, okay, there's not many main releases, but there's a lot of indie developed releases as well. So it's kind of just testing the water. But now there's a lot more VR games coming. They're on the way. They're being made. Yeah. So
it's going to reel them off very quickly. So we have
these
Skyrim VR. So that's another one that Bethesda are turning into VR. Bravo Team, which was that military shooter. I wonder if that's going to work with the aim controller.
I kind of hope so. It looks like it should work with that.
That would make sense. Star Child as well, which was that 2D platforming one, which looked really cool.
Yeah, I like the way 2D platformers work in VR. There was a little... there was a demo I played. It came in the box. It was like Skyward or Sky something. Yeah. Anyway, it was very cool. It was a platformer, but you were kind of like sat looking down on the world, and the platforming was kind of happening right in front of you, and it was very interesting.
Like a toy set or a diorama or something.
Like a diorama. Yeah.
And then they showed The Inpatient, which was it looked like a psychological thriller thing inside a psychiatric ward.
Sanatorium, I believe.
Sanatorium. Yeah. Then they showed Monsters of the Deep, which is that Final Fantasy 15 fishing expansion. Right.
Moving on.
And then Moss, which was that game with that little mouse, and you were that like no-face person kind of guiding it. Yeah,
guiding a little mouse around.
Which looked pretty... That one looked impressive. That was the one that kind of stood out for me.
Yeah, I quite like the look of that one. Like, it just looks cutesy and adventurous, and those kind of games with the cartoony graphics work well for VR, because I find the more detail in a game in VR, in the headset, it looks very pixelated and rough around the edges.
Yeah, like really sharp on the edges. And
So the more bright, bold colours and flat surfaces that you see, the better the game looks. So a game like that is going to look really nice in VR, I think.
Yeah. So, and that was really it from Sony. So the people expected more, like bigger reveals and more first-party games.
I suppose. I mean, you would have said, like, obviously God of War was an amazing thing, but everyone kind of knew about God of War already.
Yeah, that was announced like the year before.
Yeah.
So there was.
So where's the new big hitters? There wasn't any, was there?
No. The first 6 months of this year, PlayStation were very they had a lot of first-party games coming out. The last half of the year looks like there isn't really going to be any. No. It's going to be a slower end to the year for them.
Yeah, but it's been a cracking year for them, really.
There's no denying that. They've just reached the 60 million mark with the console sales, so they're definitely doing well.
Yep.
And then the last one was a very short one by Nintendo.
Yes, very short. So only 24 minutes was their spotlight, and quite shockingly, they missed out a few games. I know they wanted to focus on the Switch, but I learnt about the release of Samus Returns.
Yeah, Metroid.
After.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't even see that in the spotlight, which is quite shocking.
That was talked about in the Treehouse section they did after the main event. So yeah, it's a remake of Metroid 2 from the old Game Boy, if you remember that.
Nice.
Coming out on the 3DS September 15th.
Yeah,
so that one looks really cool.
Amazing.
And then for the Switch, we've got Xenoblade Chronicles 2 coming out holiday this year.
Which actually looked different to the first trailer I ever saw of it.
Really?
The teaser, yeah. It looked different. It looked like the graphics had come down a bit. I don't know. maybe I'm imagining it, but
maybe because what we saw running was actually running on the Switch, where before the trailer might have been an early PC build, or maybe something along that line.
Possibly.
Yeah. There's a new Kirby game coming out as well. They kind of really didn't say much about it or a release date, but it's definitely coming.
Yep.
Then they went over to the Pokemon Company, and they have confirmed that there is a Pokemon RPG coming for the Switch.
But there's no images, no footage.
Nothing.
There's just a Japanese guy in the office saying, "Don't worry, it's
coming." It didn't really say when either. So
no.
2 years. So yeah, there's definitely one coming. Then they flashed the logo for Metroid Prime 4.
Yep.
So
again, nothing to show for it other than the logo.
Yeah, and the currently in development for. So it's definitely coming.
But I don't know. I kind of would be hoping for something more than a logo.
Yeah.
Because okay, now don't get me wrong. I could have done that. As in, I could have made a number 4 and some electric clouds and had it come up. I could have done that. Where's just a shot of Samus, maybe a glimpse of what the game kind of looks like.
I guess they're not there yet. Maybe they're not ready.
Logo reveals.
Yeah, but it's definitely coming, and it bears the Prime name, so you definitely know what it's going to be. First-person shooter again. So it's going to be good when it finally arrives, but that could be another couple of years yet.
Yep.
Then they had the Yoshi game, which looks pretty cool.
It does look good.
Yeah, like a weird mix of Paper Mario and Yoshi's Woolly World,
and it's kind of cardboardy.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the look of that one.
Yeah, it did look really cool. So yeah, definitely Yoshi game coming. Then they talked about the Breath of the Wild DLC. The first one's coming the end of this month, June 30th. And some new amiibos.
Yep.
For, Zelda as well.
Of the Guardians.
Of the 4 Guardians, yep. Then Rocket League for Switch as well, coming
now
holiday 2017.
Cool. And the thing that really pleased me about that is the fact that I could take my Switch round to Jay's, for example. I can play Rocket League on the Switch against Jay on the PS4. It's cross-network play, so
it is.
I think that's awesome.
And I was hoping you'd say that.
Okay.
Because, right, here we go. Cross-play through all, so I know Microsoft announced that Minecraft's going cross-play, and Rocket League's cross-play. It's cross-play for everything apart from PlayStation.
What?
Yeah. So if you've got Rocket League on the Switch, you can play with the Xbox, you can play with PC, you can play with the Switch users, but you can't play with PlayStation users.
Now, why is that?
In a funny interview I read with Eurogamer speaking to, I can't remember his name now, from Sony, he said that their stance against it was that they have a duty of care for the people that are using their online platform. And people that are playing Rocket League and Minecraft are young, so if they open up the kind of the cross-play to everything, then it's harder to police, basically.
All I'm hearing is excuses, Sony. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah.
No.
Sony have said that it's
bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, find that interview with Eurogamer. Because
we'll put it in the description.
Okay, I'll put a link to it in the description because it is brilliant. It's a brilliant read. It really is. It made me chuckle.
Okay.
But
cool.
so cross-play, yes, but not PlayStation.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Enjoy your cross-play, but not PlayStation.
Not on PlayStation. And then the last one was Super Mario Odyssey then. So that had a really big reveal. And the one thing I really liked from it is the way that it went from 3D to 2D.
Yes. That was epic. Going around that tower.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then like when he threw his hat and it went on a frog and you become the frog.
Yeah.
I lost my freaking mind.
And poles and stuff.
Poles.
You could turn into a street pole.
And the things and stuff and a tank and Egypt and Mexico and everything.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah. So I'm quite excited about it.
Yeah. So that's definitely coming. It's coming
Soon.
October 27th.
Soon.
So again, another game for October. And that's it for E3.
That's E3.
I've reached the end of my notes.
Woo! That's a lot of games, right?
Whew.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
But I guess like what we want to know is, what did you like about E3? Was there anything there that you were like, oh my god, I have to have this now? Or was the whole thing lackluster? Like, let us know what you thought about everything in the comments below.
Yeah. And on that, the other question was, what did we think was missing? I think more first-party games, like new IPs and first-party stuff. I think that's what I felt was missing.
You know what I thought was missing, Jay?
What?
Some information on Resident Evil 2 remake.
And that.
Where was that, Capcom?
Yeah.
Where was it?
Yeah, Capcom, they revealed quite a few games there, but yeah, no.
I was seeing the Capcom logo come up, and I was like, okay, all right, that's a Capcom game.
Yeah,
it's not the one I want. Okay, come on. Oh, it's another Capcom logo. No, but this is Marvel versus Capcom. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then it kept coming, and then there was no Resident Evil. I was like,
no, nothing Resident Evil 2.
Oh, well, never mind.
Nothing Kingdom Hearts. Nothing Final Fantasy 7. I think, well, Kingdom Hearts 3 did get a new story trailer.
Right.
But at the end, no release date, no nothing. At the end, it just said, D23 is happening in July. Come back to us for more. So they're still they're still egging it out a little bit.
Brilliant.
So
anyway, I hope you enjoyed our video coverage of E3 and us detailing everything that went about that. Obviously, yeah, leave us your comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe if you haven't already. As always, I've been Bren.
I've been Jay.
And we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.